Hey girlies, welcome back to the podcast, or if you're new here, welcome to my podcast, Growing and Glowing. I'm your host, Mia Little, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to lock in for the rest of 2026. Because I think we all have had that little New Year motivational, new me, whatever, spark, and then January was over, and it was like downhill from there. So, same. I have been struggling this year to lock in. I feel like I'm very disappointed in myself. And I mean, for example, this podcast, I literally recorded 2 episodes in February? And here we are in August. And I haven't made any progress because I haven't been consistent with it. And I told myself over the summer, I'm not going to have school. I'm just going to be freestyling, whatever it's called. And I'm going to get on top of it with my podcast. Yeah, I think we can all clearly say that did not happen. For this episode, I'm going to be kind of freestyling it. I don't have a script or anything like the last 2 episodes. I had bullet points for everything that I was going to say. This one, I do not. I'm just freestyling it because I'm in that kind of mood. So bear with me. Also, I highly apologize if I sound a wee bit congested. There's some stuff going around town, so even more of a reason for me to lock in so I can be healthier. So if I do get sick, then it's hopefully not gonna be as bad as it was for everybody else. Some people are saying it's COVID. I don't know. Hopefully not, but guess it's too late now. Anyways. Okay, so to start this episode, I want to do a weekly review, especially since it's Saturday. Perfect chance to do a weekly review. So this week, was very slam-packed, we'll say. I started school, so I have lots of assignments to but, to get done. I want to become, that student, if you know what I'm saying, this year. So I'm really praying about that, every single night. I'm like, God, just help me to be more productive. So I feel like the first half of this week I was not very productive. May or may not have stayed up until 2 a.m. on Monday night finishing some summer homework, but we don't talk about that. Tuesday was my first day of school. If you guys have listened to the last 2 episodes, I don't know which one it was that I talked about it, but I slightly mentioned my schooling curriculum. So those of you that know me know that I only go into school on Tuesdays. On Tuesday, it is a full school day, 8:30 to 4:30. I have all my classes. I have a lunch in between. I even have a study hall. So thankful for that. And then the rest of the week is just the assigned homework, or some of them aren't even calling it homework anymore. Some of the teachers are saying this is not homework, this is your school for every day up until next Tuesday. So it's still semi-homeschooling, but, with teachers and stuff involved. So that's nice. And if any of you girlies do something similar, or if you're homeschooled and you go to a co-op, that is so cool. Comment down below and let me know. I love meeting fellow homeschoolers. So, and if you're not homeschooled, then I can still relate to you because I go into school on Tuesday and I get the full school experience on Tuesdays. So I can relate to both sides, which is really cool. But enough about that. Tuesday was my first day of school. It was so much fun, not gonna lie. It was I'll use the word chill because although we had some summer homework to turn in, it was very the teachers basically just went over the syllabus. We kind of got to meet our fellow classmates. We did, low energy kind of stuff. So it was really chill. It was low-key kind of fun. And I love my study hall group. It is so fun. I mean, not fun, but I love the people that I got study hall with. 2 of them I already knew, and then there was 2 guys. And you guys, usually I'm not good at talking to boys. I cannot talk to them. I don't know why. Don't know what it is, but I just can't talk to them. These 2 guys, they were chill, and I was actually able to talk to them very well. So proud of myself for that. So far since last year, my confidence has definitely risen, which I'm kind of shocked, but I was definitely more confident this first day than I was last year. But also I was super new to the whole thing last year and I was stressed. This year, I was I semi know what I'm getting into. I already know a lot of people, so it made it so much easier. Those of you who don't know, I'm a freshman this year, so that's exciting. If you guys are also in high school or going into high school, let me know in the comments down below so I can meet fellow high schoolers. Let's just chat in the comments, okay? I will reply to your comments, because, nobody ever comments, so I have nothing better to do. Whoa. That's a lie. I have a busy life. But anyways, and then Wednesday night I had church, and then Thursday I had a infielding lesson with my best friend and my little sister. So that went really well. And then yesterday I did a full-blown hardcore workout. So my legs are killing me today, but it made me feel really productive, and I've been pretty on top of my homework, especially compared to last year. Last year I was on vacation at this time, so it was really hard to start school, but this year I went to vacation in June, so that made it so much easier. Also, I've been feeling pretty productive because yesterday and Thursday I woke up at 6:30 a.m. consistently. 2 days in a row. That's consistent to me, okay? And then today is Saturday, so I slept in. Also, life update, I made a travel ball team, so that's really exciting. Those of you who don't know, I play softball, so I made a travel ball team. And the season starts in September, so I'm really excited about that. Made the team with my best friend, so that'll be a really great experience. From everyone I've heard that plays travel ball, they say it's such a good experience. And those of you who are playing a sport or doing something that you love, you would know. If you love it, it's going to be a good experience, most likely. With that being said, I will not be able to sleep in on Saturdays for much longer because I'll have to wake up at like 5 a.m. for the tournaments. So I'm enjoying sleeping in on Saturdays while I can. And even though I don't go into school every single day, I like to wake up early on the weekdays to be productive because I still have things to do and I still have schoolwork to do. I just don't have it due, on that day. I have it due on Tuesdays. But anyways, I'm trying to break the really bad habit that I had last year of staying up late every Monday, cramming to finish homework. I'm trying to get it all done much before, 4:30 on Monday. That's my goal, to have everything done on like 4 or 5 Monday. Anytime before 10 p.m. I want to be in bed by 10. But so that's my weekly review. Those of you who listen to The Busy Yet Pretty by Jaden Haley, you might notice that I'm kind of taking bits and pieces from her intro. I don't know. I'm just trying out new things, trying to see what I like, what I want to do for this podcast. So I'm gonna say, let's do our current obsession of the week. Yes, Jaden Haley does a current obsession of the week, so I'm giving her credit right now. My current obsession of the week is honestly my desk setup. My desk setup has changed so much from last year. This year, I got a pencil organizer, and I love it so much. It's pink, it's like the mesh wire, and it has so many compartments to organize it. It is so cute. I even have this little, box in there with a little mini teddy bear, and it's holding my eraser. It looks so adorable. And then on the right side corner, I have a pink diamond painting that I did. And it's like a bow with hearts and stuff around it. Very minimalist, but also super aesthetic and cute. And then right beside that, I have a candle that my friend gifted me for my birthday last year. And I've been lighting that every time I sit down early in the morning around 8 a.m. to do schoolwork. I light that candle and it just makes the whole experience so much more cozy and relaxing and aesthetic. And I just feel like I'm being so productive. So that's definitely my current obsession of the week is my desk setup. Also, another obsession of the week is my new cup that I got for the school year. It's my first hydro jug, and it is so cute. It's white with the roses on it, and then it has a light pink handle and the light pink straw and rim. It is so cute. It's my first hydro jug. I think I said that already, but I love it so much. It's so cute, and I'm obsessed. Okay, now let's dive into the episode. So, first of all, let's talk about what locking in actually means, because I feel like we all say lock in, but we don't fully understand it. I kind of feel like we all hear lock in and we take it the wrong way. So first, let's talk about what locking in does not mean. Okay, so when I talk about locking in for the rest of 2026, that does not mean becoming a completely different person overnight, because obviously that's not possible. We take small steps every day, consistently. Consistency is honestly the biggest thing I would say. That's a key point there. So remember, consistency over perfection. Consistency over motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and consistency is just, it's pretty self-explanatory. Everybody knows what being consistent means. So consistency and discipline is what we're looking for. Okay, another thing locking in does not mean is being productive 24/7, because obviously we all know that's not possible, especially for us teenage girls. We have school, we have chores, we have, family, we have friends, we have sports if you do sports like me. We are growing, okay? That's another thing. We are in the process of becoming the woman that God created us to be, and it's impossible to be productive 24/7. Now, you might be thinking, nothing is impossible with Jesus. Okay, yeah, but like you don't have to be productive 24/7 because I feel like I always had that wrong mindset of locking in means being productive 24/7. And I even had that feeling yesterday when I woke up at 6:30 a.m. I prayed first thing in the morning. I did affirmations. I manifested my dream life by, scrolling on my vision board on Pinterest. I did a Bible study before I even went downstairs to eat breakfast. The night before that, I made overnight oats for the first time, and so I went and I ate breakfast, and I did homework early in the morning. So overall, I had a really productive morning. And then after that, I kind of felt lazy, like through the afternoon. But then in the evening, I did like a super intense workout, and then I was sore. And then after I did that, I was like, oh yeah, I've had such a productive day today. But I didn't have a productive entire day, okay? I had a productive day, but not every hour was very productive. And so I kind of felt disappointed for a little bit, but then I was like, you know what? It's fine. I locked in more than I have all week, so I did good. And so we need to give ourselves more credit than we do, because I feel like we're so hard on ourselves. But girl, you're literally growing, okay? Something is better than nothing. You're getting 1% better every day if you do small steps versus big steps, because you do a bunch of huge drastic things and you might be consistent for like a week, but it's gonna fall out and you're gonna burn out, and it's not gonna be super possible to continue doing something super big like that every single day. Or if you're having an off day and you're in a slump and you don't feel like doing anything, you need to have easier habits that you have, ingrained in your mind, something easier to do when you're having an off day. Okay, and let's also understand that locking in does not mean you can never have a lazy day, okay? Because so far today, I've had a pretty lazy day, but I was locked in yesterday. And so for me, my weekly plan is Sunday, no scroll Sunday, self-care, cozy, face masks, stuff like that, like personal little things that are pampering that I only do every so often. I want to be more consistent with that, and I try to do them every Sunday. I also do very in-depth long Bible studies on Sundays, or I want to. I have yet to, but I'm trying to. Okay, and then Monday through Friday is like my lock-in, wake up super early, I get all my homework done for the day, I do workout, I do softball. Again, this is my plan. I've not been very consistent with locking in, which is what this episode is about. We're locking in together, okay? And then Saturdays are gonna be my lazy day. Now, again, I made a travel team and the tournaments are on Saturdays, so I'm not going to be able to have a lazy day every Saturday, but it's just like kind of my break day, you know what I mean? So I want you to have like one day a week that you can just be chill. You don't have to plan your day. You just kind of let everything flow. Just kind of do whatever you feel like doing. And don't take this the wrong way. You can still do something productive every single day. I mean, especially if you feel like it. But for like that time of the month, I know it's really hard for us to be productive, especially for just getting into that rhythm. So just because you're locked in and just because you want to become your best self that you can possibly before 2027 doesn't mean you can never have a lazy day, okay? And kind of along with that doesn't mean you can never have a rest day. So lazy days and rest days, I feel like, are very different and very similar in so many ways. A rest day is when you don't work out, you don't practice your sport. You can go on a walk, you can stretch, but you don't really run. You want to take it easy, you want to rest. You might be sore, or you might be just really tired, or maybe you've just been super locked in for so many days in a row and you don't want to burn out, so you take a rest day. That's different, because a rest day, you're not like scrolling on your phone for hours, okay? That's not what rest means. That's not resting, okay? Get out of that habit, please, I'm begging you. A lazy day would be more so like, sitting in your pajamas all day, scrolling on your phone, whatever, just kind of doing whatever you feel like doing. That's a lazy day. A rest day is still being productive, but in a more chill way. Okay, and then another thing that locking in does not mean is punishing yourself when you mess up. When you slip up, when you accidentally scroll on Instagram or TikTok for an hour straight, when you accidentally sleep 2 hours past your alarm, when you accidentally snooze your alarm 5 times and you're like, oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to snooze my alarm today. I told myself I wasn't going to do that. Or when you forget to do a workout, or when you're just too tired to do a workout, or you don't go on a run, you don't get your 10K steps in, which I know that sounds like a lot. bad, but that's what every, girl locked in is saying. They're like, oh, get 10K steps a day. That's not super easy, okay? Especially for us who have to go to school. Because when I go to school on Tuesdays and I get home, I have like no day left and I'm so tired. I don't feel like doing anything when I get back to school. So honestly, I don't know how y'all do it. But so yeah, when your assignments or your chores start piling up and you start getting behind, you don't punish yourself, okay? The punishment is you have all that stuff to catch up on. You're already being punished by feeling guilty, but don't punish yourself. Give yourself grace, okay? Because we have to remember we are human and humans slip up. Humans make mistakes and humans can't be perfect 24/7. They can't be locked in 24/7, okay? So your body, you just have to give yourself grace. Okay, and then my final bullet point for what locking in does not mean is becoming obsessed with your appearance and productivity and constantly denying fun things with your friends because no, I'm locked in. I have to focus on myself. I don't know if y'all have seen those motivational, Pinterest quotes or reels or whatever that are like, focus on yourself or do this and that. Like, okay, I'm all for that, but we're still teenage girls. Most of those people are grown women and we're teenage girls. You might be a grown woman listening to this, but this message currently is to girls more my age. So we're literally teenage girls, okay? We don't need to block out everybody else. We don't need to completely lock in alone. We can still go out and do fun things. Now, if you have been super lazy the past week and you've been going out and doing something fun every single night, okay, you might want to scale it back. But if it's like your friends ask you, invite you to a sleepover on a Friday night, like if you want to go. Don't say no because you want to be so locked in, okay? Like if you say no because you genuinely don't want to go, that's fine. But if you're like, no, I have to stay locked in, girl, go to the sleepover, go have fun. Because I promise you, when you get to be 50 years old, you're not going to be like, man, I wish I didn't go to those sleepovers and I wish I stayed more locked in when I was a teenage girl. No, you're going to be like, man, I'm so glad I went to my best friend's sleepover and made memories with her. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes you might regret not being more locked in, or you might regret partying every Friday night if you're older, but you're not going to regret, hanging out with your best friends, unless they're fake. I don't know. See, don't let the overthinker in me get to you because I'm constantly doing this. Okay, now let's cover what locking in actually means. It's getting serious about the things you say you want, okay? If you actually want something, you actually have to get serious with it. Like me, you can't just say, oh, I want to get a scholarship to play D1 softball. Okay, you can say you want that. Now you have to get serious about it and actually work for it. Locking in, it's being intentional with your time. It's planning out your days. Being intentional with your time is so important, especially in our teenage years. Our minds are still developing and we are at peak life age, I guess you could say. When you're consuming content, consume mindfully. Watch videos that inspire you, that motivate you, that teach you things. When you're scrolling on Pinterest, save pins that, give you an example of your dream life. So like me, my entire Pinterest feed is my dream life based or motivational. Now again, motivation is a feeling, but you can feel motivated when you're scrolling through motivational content. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's better than consuming stuff that's just draining your energy. So instead of constantly watching reels of movie edits or drama or funny memes, watch reels and TikToks and whatever that are like people in the gym or toxic gym motivation. I love watching the toxic gym motivation videos. They're so funny to me and low-key pretty motivating. Not that I'm encouraging you to scroll, but if you're going to, do it mindfully. Okay, another bullet point for locking in and what it actually means is doing something even when the motivation fades. Because motivation, like I said, it's a feeling. It comes and goes. And honestly, I feel more motivated after I start once I put my tennis shoes on and put my hair in a slick back. And once I put on those athletic clothes and I get outside and I start listening to my hype playlist, that's when I really start to feel motivated, is once I do all the little steps leading up to a workout or whatever the thing is. You feel more motivated once you start. And even if you don't feel motivated the entire time you're doing it, you should still do it, because that's what true discipline and that's what truly locking in actually is. Okay, locking in is taking small steps towards your dream life. Locking in does not equal perfection. It equals progress. And that's what we need, especially at this age when we're in high school and we're, I don't know, I hate to say this, but becoming women, grown women. We really just need progress and something to go off of. So when we are grown and alone or whatever happens, we're more prepared and we're not like, oh, I should start going to the gym now that I can drive, or I should start waking up at 5 a.m. now that I have a job. No, start now. Start being productive now, and it'll be so much easier when you're in your 20s. Or if you are in your 20s, start now and it'll be easier to do when you're in your 30s, and so on. Just start now. That's what locking in is. It's progress over perfection. Now we're gonna get a little more personal. Why do I personally want to lock in now? Girl, there is only a few months left of 2026. And I was so sure. I told myself so many times, 2026 is my year. This is the first year I created a vision board, and it literally is like 2026 is my year. Girl, I have not done anything. I've not reached any of my goals. I still have yet to write them on paper. I just have the vision board, okay? And I literally talked about my goals with ChatGPT, and that was it. That was as far as I got. So why I want to lock in now is because I want to lock in for the last couple months of 2026. I'm even debating doing the 75 hard, just a little more personalized and tweaked to make it possible for a young teenage girl in school. But I want to make it so much easier for myself in December to lock in for 2027 and actually make 2027 my year, because 2026 was not. But the end of 2026 can. You know what I'm saying? So I can lock in for the end of 2026 and make my December 31st self proud. So that when I turn 15 in December, I can do 15 real push-ups. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wait until January 1st of 2027 to do the new year, new me again. I will still, write down New Year's resolutions and create a vision board for the year and do all that, because it's just so much fun. And it's a seasonal thing. I feel like it gets me in the mood for a new year, and it gets me in the mood for January. But I do not want to wait until then to decide to lock in. I want the 2027 version of me to be proud of the 2026 version of me. I don't want the 2027 version of me to look back and be like, seriously, you couldn't do any more? Because as we all know, we can't change the past. We can't go back and make up for what we didn't do. But that's exactly why I'm locking in now instead of waiting until January, because I know I'm going to regret it. And that way, in January, I'm going to have so much progress already, because so much can happen in 5 months. Now, here's just a list of some of the things that I personally want to lock in for. Okay, so number 1 is my faith. I want to get so on fire for God. I want to grow my relationship with him to where he's the first thing that I think about when I wake up, when I go to bed, when I'm asleep. I want him to be the first person that I go to every time something happens. I want the first thing for me to go to is prayer with him. I want to always be asking him for help throughout my day, because I pray at the beginning of my day and at the end of my day, but throughout the day, I don't hardly ever pray, because I feel like I forget, like, oh yeah, I can just talk to God whenever I want. I don't have to be in bed. I don't have to be with my Bible. I can just talk to him. And I feel like I don't do that enough. So I really want to lock in with my faith. And more consistent Bible studies. This month, I have been more consistent with my Bible reading than I feel like I ever have. I'm doing a Proverbs 31 challenge currently for the month of August. And so part of that is every single day I'm reading one chapter of Proverbs, because there's 31 chapters of Proverbs and there's 31 days in August. So currently, today I read chapter 15. So it's going really well. I've been super consistent. I only missed one day and I made up for it the next day, so I stayed on track. Okay, the next thing I want to get locked in on is softball. I know I said I wouldn't talk about softball much, but guys, come on. It's my sport. So I really want to get locked in on softball, because especially since I made a travel ball team, but I told myself that I was going to get a scholarship for a Division I softball team, whether that's UGA or Oklahoma or Texas Tech, whatever it is, I want to get a D1 scholarship. Well, that's not going to happen unless I start right now, because I graduate high school in 4 years. Literally 4 years. Like, that is insane to me. I don't feel that old, but in 4 years, I'm going to be starting to get called miss by children. You know what I mean? So I really want to get locked in with softball. And with softball, I also include working out / fitness. That kind of all goes together for me, because I work out not just for softball, but for my overall health. And so, but when I'm working out, I'm also keeping softball softball in mind, okay? So I'm like, what's workouts that I can do to get better at this in softball, or, you know, to make my pitches faster, or to make me a more powerful hitter. Like, working out helps you so much in sports, and those of my fellow athletes would understand. And honestly, when I say athletes, I'm including like dancers and ballerinas too, because you need so much strength in those. It's insane. And you need stamina and athleticism. It all goes hand in hand. Next on my lock-in list is school. Okay, school should honestly be above softball, but because like I said earlier, I want to become that student, you know, the one that's organized, that always turns in her assignments on time, that always shows up to class early or on time, that's never late to class like I was on the first day, that doesn't stay up the night before finishing homework, that doesn't get stressed out about tests and quizzes. I want to be the girl that is organized and smart, and everybody looks at her and is just like, oh my goodness, she looks so put together, even though I don't have to be put together for real, as long as I just appear with confidence and I have, you know, my priorities and my responsibilities taken care of and finished on time, because those are my responsibilities. Those should be my priorities. It's not my teacher's fault that I failed my quiz. It's not my parents' fault that I was late to school. Like, I need to get locked in and be more responsible. And if I want to get a scholarship for D1 softball, I have to have a good GPA, and that comes with staying on top of school. So that's another reason I need to lock in, so I can actually enjoy school better and not constantly be stressed out and tired and in fight or flight mode because I didn't get enough sleep. Okay, the next thing I want to get really locked in on is my content, okay? My social media, like this podcast, for example, because I'm so inconsistent. I think because I have such a low audience, and so with that comes like a lot of discouragement, but that's why I need to really lock in and stay consistent, because that's the only way I'm gonna grow. So that's another thing on my bucket list to get locked in on and do better, because I love like recording these podcasts. I just don't manage my time well, which is one of the things we talked about when we were talking about what locking in is, time management. I don't manage my time very well, which I'm trying to get better at, and so I never have time to film podcast episodes because I don't manage my time. And my YouTube channel and my Instagram, if y'all don't follow that or aren't subscribed, please go do that. It's very encouraging. Okay, another thing I want to get locked in on is staying organized, okay? I share a bedroom with my little sister, so it's really hard to keep a clean room, because no matter how hard I try to keep my stuff organized, her stuff is always a mess because, well, she's like 6 years younger than me. So obviously that big of an age gap, we're gonna have very different mindsets. So just constantly trying to stay organized and keeping all my stuff clean and where it should be, that's a big thing too. That also comes with just locking in general, is keeping your stuff organized and making your life less stressful, because a clean space equals a clean mind, a cluttered space equals a cluttered and stressed mind. And I feel like that's so true. Another thing I want to get more consistent with is writing. I love creative writing, like creating stories and stuff like that. I love it. And I'm currently working on a book. I might talk about that a little more on here, but I'm currently writing a book and it's coming together so well. I love it so much, and so I want to be more consistent with that and lock in, because it is so much fun to do. It's more of a hobby to me at the moment, but I want to eventually become like a well-known author, so that's another thing on my list. Okay, another thing is my mindset, which the last 2 days I feel like I've been really good about that. When I wake up and I start my day with God, and I start my day with a Bible study and with affirmations and positive thinking, and I clear my mind, I feel like that's really working on my mindset, and I've actually kind of noticed it, not gonna lie. So that's something that's really important to me, because your mindset controls your life, you know what I'm saying? So it's really important. Overall, I just want to lock in on everything that will affect my future self and my future life. I want my future self to be proud of me, and I want so much progress to be made, and everything I'm doing is shaping her, and every step I take is going to determine my future. And so all in all, that's like a big part of it. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that I want to lock in on. That's like all the categories of my life that I'm trying to lock in. Now let's cover how we're going to lock in for the rest of 2026, because I know you're all probably thinking, okay, we know what it's not, we know what it is, we know what you're trying to do, what I'm trying to do. Let's figure out how to actually put that into play. First of all, pick what actually matters. Seriously, write down everything on like a bucket list or like a vision board or whatever you want to do, write it down in like a list, like all your goals, all your plans, everything you want to get done. Even if it's just like the categories, like I gave you what I'm kind of trying to lock in on, write it down, okay? That's the number one thing you want to do first. Most importantly, stop waiting to feel motivated, okay? We already touched on motivation a little bit, but motivation is not going to help you. It's not coming to save you. It's not coming to help you reach your goals and your dream life and blah, 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 blah. No, motivation is not the thing, okay? Motivation is a temporary feeling. It's like a dopamine kind of thing. It's not here to help you. It's just a feeling. If you seriously want to lock in, you have to be disciplined, okay? You have to want it. And a lot of people say you have to be obsessed. Okay, I'm not obsessed with everything that I want and everything that I dream of and everything that I'm trying to lock in on, but I'm trying to be disciplined with it, okay? And I feel like obsession will come later. You don't have to be obsessed with everything, but that's just something, part of it. Make small promises to yourself and keep them. Do not lie to yourself. Okay, here's an example. When you say affirmations to yourself, I don't know if you do or not, I try to every day. When you say affirmations to yourself and you're like, I am strong, I am smart, I am blah, 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 you're lying to yourself, essentially, if you're not actually doing that. So if you're constantly saying to yourself, I am organized and put together, but your entire environment looks like a tornado came through, you're lying to yourself. If you're constantly telling yourself, I'm getting better every day, but you literally lay on the couch 24/7 scrolling on reels for like 12 hours a day, you're lying to yourself, okay? So stop lying to yourself. Make small promises to yourself, say affirmations, whatever you gotta do, and keep that promise. Don't lie to yourself, because then you can't trust yourself. Whether you think that or not, your subconscious mind thinks that, okay? Your subconscious plays such a huge role and you don't even realize it. It has such a big impact on your life that you don't even realize. And so you need to take care of your mind. Don't talk negatively about yourself, talk positively. It doesn't matter how much of the day you wasted, talk positive to yourself, okay? And if you wasted an entire day, don't tell yourself, I was so productive today. No, don't lie to yourself, but say, I wasn't very productive today, but I'll try again tomorrow. Don't say, I was so lazy today, I did so bad. No, okay, that's literally ruining your mindset. Another tip, remove things that distract you. If you're constantly wasting 3 hours a day on TikTok, maybe you should delete TikTok. And I'm not saying you have to go delete your account and remove your face from TikTok if you don't want to. I don't even own TikTok. But if you do, because I know it's pretty popular, and you're obsessed with it, maybe you should delete it. You might be a little addicted to it, and that's not good. So delete it temporarily. You're not going to miss out on anything, I promise. Delete it temporarily, even just for a week, and you will see that that distraction is gone, and now you have more time to focus on yourself instead of constantly scrolling on TikToks or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, whatever it is. Another big tip that will help so much with locking in is planning your week. Or if you don't want to plan your entire week, you can just plan your entire day the night before. It's so helpful to have a plan. And then when you don't know what to do and you're like, I have nothing to do, I'm so forgetful, blah, 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 I'm just going to scroll my phone. No, girl, look at the planner, look at the calendar that's sitting on your desk, wherever it is, and be like, oh, yeah, that's what I need to do today. Got it. I'm going to get it done. Trust me, it is so helpful, especially for those of you who have like ADHD or something. It's so helpful. I don't even have ADHD. I'm just super forgetful. And I'm really bad at overthinking and not knowing what to do with my time. So planning your day, planning your week, like every Sunday night planning your week. And if it's Thursday and you're like, I'll just wait until Sunday to plan my week. No. Plan the rest of your week. Plan tomorrow, plan Saturday, and then Sunday, plan your week. Okay, girl, it's going to help you so much more than you realize. Just do it and you will start to see a difference if you stick to your word. Another thing about keeping promises to yourself, plan your week, promise to do it, and then watch it get done. Well, don't watch it. I mean, you have to do it, and then at the end of the day, you'll be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself every time you get in bed. Every night when you get in bed, you should be proud because you should have done something productive that day. And if you didn't, don't feel guilty, okay? Again, give yourself grace. Okay, and I feel like everything is kind of going hand in hand. It may seem a little repetitive this episode, but it's just because everything, it's like a domino effect. Everything kind of works together. together, and so you just need to be kind to yourself. And instead of starting completely over every Monday or whatever, get back on track. I know sometimes we have to reset. I know sometimes we have to completely start over. Sometimes we have to cut down the tree and replant the seed, whatever you got to do, however you want to say it. But don't do that every single time. You don't always have to start over, okay? If you went a week without doing your daily push-ups or whatever, you don't have to be like, oh man, now I have to start back at doing 1 a day. Like, okay, if you can still do 5, go ahead and do 5 a day, okay? Like, I don't know, just don't start completely over, because that can be kind of discouraging. Okay, and then here's my personal tips for what I'm trying to do to lock in for the rest of 2026. First of all, pick one small habit that you can do daily and do that for a week and another week, and just do it consistently. And once you have that kind of ingrained in your mind, then add in another habit. And I'm trying to add in like 1 a week. And so the first habit that I'm trying to fix for myself is my sleep schedule. Honestly, I suggest fixing that one first too if you have a bad sleep schedule like me, because that can determine the rest of your day. So fix your sleep schedule first, or just whatever. I don't want to be bossy, I guess, but I'm trying to start with my sleep schedule, and then once I get that locked in, then I'll start including more habits. That doesn't mean waste the rest of your day because, oh, I did my daily habit, now time to scroll on my phone for 3 hours. No, you can still be productive, girl, still get the rest of the stuff done. I'm just saying, start with one habit daily. That's like your non-negotiable, and get that locked in, and then start adding more habits, and then it becomes an actual habit. Guys, I'm sorry, this episode is actually really long. For those of you that don't like long episodes, I apologize. Now we're just gonna do a little reflection. Okay, so first ask yourself, what do you want your December self to be able to say? Like, when we get to December, it's August, okay? You have plenty of time. When we get to December, what should you be able to say about your August to December self? Like, I'm so glad I locked in for the last 5 months. I'm so glad that I learned how to do 15 push-ups in a row. I'm so glad that I fixed my sleep schedule and now I'm waking up at 6 a.m. every day. Like, you should have some kind of goal completed by December. So ask yourself, what do I want my December self to be able to say? A couple more journal prompt style questions that I'm going to ask you is, what would make me proud these next few months? Ask yourself that. Write it down in your journal, whatever you have to do. What would make me proud these next few months? What do you want to have changed? What do you want to have experienced? And what do you want to have learned? Now write that down in your POV, in your journal. Answer the question. It's like a journal prompt. So answer it to yourself, write it down in your journal, whatever you have to do. Just reflect on it. It will also help you get so clear on your goals and your intentions, and help you with locking in for the rest of 2026. I don't know about you girls, but I do not want to look back at August and wish I had started. I want to look back at this month right now and know that this was when I finally decided to lock in. And I hope you can say the same in December. Alright girlies, thank you so much for listening to this episode. This is the end. Finally, I know 40 minutes long, that's pretty long, but this is the end. So I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a comment about what you want to hear about next, what you want me to talk about next. I love hearing from you guys. And don't forget to give me a rating on Spotify. And I will talk to y'all in the next episode. Bye!